most readers have their favorite genre that they go to, or several genres that they go to. They have their favorite tropes that they read on occasion or every time, or when they're in a mood. There's certain mood they reach for a certain genre or a certain trope. Or they have that trope that they absolutely won't read, or there's certain genre they can't read. And that's what we'll be discussing today. What tropes are your favorites? Which tropes do you absolutely despise or don't like? And I hope you enjoy this episode. We have wonderful guests, and we had an absolute ball recording. So enjoy. Okay, so today we have the author of Embracing the Bond series, which is a paranormal romance with various relationship makeups and various paranormal creatures, but not in the same book, but within the series. It's spicy and creative, which I love. It's great world building, amazing world building. Sucks you right in. She's a great friend, great wife, great mom, and she's mastered the video transition. Mastered it. If you've watched any of her videos, the girl mastered it. Just don't bother asking her what color her next cover is going to be. FYI, it's not red. T.D. Edwards. So, I have all but one. I don't know how. I always have all but one. I need have to send you one. All but one.
Wow.
But I have all but one.
Look at that. Look at that.
It's very pretty. They're very pretty. But I have all but one. She's always fighting with Elizabeth over a shelf. Because I told him whoever fills the shelf can have the shelf.
I need to send you one. That they're trying to
fill the shelf. So we have T.D. Edwards. We have T.D. Edwards. She's beautiful.
Thank you.
She's absolutely beautiful. I keep trying to bribe her daughter, who I claim is my niece now, into telling me what the color of the next cover is. I keep saying I'm going to send her a care package of my books.
She's always tempted.
Always. And then we also have, if I counted correctly, and I could have counted wrong, okay? If I counted correctly, we have, our next guest has 28. I counted wrong. Books under her belt. How many?
31.
31. Okay,
Woo!
so maybe where I counted.
31 Friday, so 30 technically.
Goodness gracious.
You and probably weren't counting the nonfiction ones, so that's fine.
Maybe that's what it was. She's been a journalist for decades and has dipped her toes into several genres, as she just alluded to. One thing's for certain, though. When you're reading her books, or any of them, you shouldn't drink or eat anything, because you might choke. Because you never know when the joke's going to come.
It's facts.
Just facts. You never know. So just don't. Just don't. Make sure you're hydrated and fed beforehand.
Maybe go to the bathroom, because I don't want you to pee yourself either.
That too. We don't need any onion situations. No onion situations happening. And I will explain what an onion situation is in a moment. Because some of the tropes can cause an onion situation. So, these are our two guests, and they are amazing. And I am Tarta. I write spicy shifter romance about bikers. And, yeah. So today we're going to be talking about our favorite tropes and genres, and what we like and what we don't like. And,
did you tell him my name?
I did. I said Don Dugle, didn't I?
No.
Well, I'm sorry. I told you this is not a professional setup, ma'am.
I was like, did she say my name?
It'll be on the screen when I upload it. You'll be under your picture.
You know what? I'm mystery. It's a mystery. That's what she is.
Like they don't already know who you are.
They probably don't.
It'll be under your picture, I promise. So if I didn't say it, her name is Dawn Dugle. But if I didn't say it, it'll be under her picture.
It's all good.
I promise. I'll put it on the screen. Now I shouldn't, just because.
Like,
just leave it.
And I'm making show notes. That's
yeah.
I promise. I'll put it on the screen. But now we have our first blooper for me to cut out and put on TikTok. So there you go. She didn't even give my name. You should watch it now. Congratulations. All right.
She needs no introduction.
She needs no introduction.
I feel like that's accurate.
Okay. But also, you know what also I forgot to do?
Yes.
These are her books that I have. I need so many more. But
and
31,
you've got,
ma'am. I'm going to need like
you've got Manchester. You got the Manchester covers too. I don't have those covers anymore. Those are vintage.
This is my favorite one though.
When a Billionaire. That's a lot of people's favorite.
It's my favorite. I love
a lot
this
of fun.
one. I love it. It's my favorite one. It's so funny.
That's a lot of fun.
I love it. It's my favorite. I've read it like 4 times. So you know when I reread it, it's a good one. You know what I mean? It's a good one. Okay, so real quick, I'll explain onion situation. Because it's a common phrase you're going to hear on these podcasts, so I should probably explain what it means. Onion situation is on our writer's retreat in Tennessee. We were in the hotel. I ordered a cheeseburger. I asked for no onions. They put onions on it. And then I was eating it. And somebody made a joke. Can't remember who made a joke, but somebody made a joke. At the same time that I went to laugh, I also went to cough and started to choke. Okay. I am in my 40s and have had children. So what happens when I laugh or cough or choke?
Yeah.
Okay. I was sitting in a chair at this hotel, like an armchair. So the first thought that went through my head was, do not pee on this chair in this hotel. So I immediately jumped up and crossed my legs as I'm choking, right? And the girls, there are 3 of them in this hotel room with me. Do you think they jump up and are like, no. They're like, you good? And I'm like coughing, choking.
If you're coughing, that's you're working it out. Like it's when you don't hear anything.
My face turning, I don't know what color.
Concerning, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
But
and
also,
I'm shaking my head.
Yeah.
And then finally, I get to the point, and they're like, what do you need? I'm dying over here. What do you mean? I can answer you right now. Finally, I cough and choke enough to the point where I can actually say a word. And I'm like, towel. Okay? Because I'm standing in a puddle at that point. All right? And then...
Probably. I will say this. It's not going to be the worst thing that ever happened on that hotel chair.
No, probably not. The hotel chair was dry.
Okay,
I managed
the carpet
to
the
get
carpet
up.
too.
I managed
Definitely
to
don't look at those
get
bedspreads.
up off the chair in time. All right, I saved that chair, but I was a mess. Moral of the story: by the time I worked the onion out of my throat and was able to talk, I was like, I just pissed myself. And they were like, they died, all started, okay, Sarah got up and got me a towel as she was laughing at me. But they were all laughing, and they were like, that was quite the onion situation that we just happened to have. And it just became a thing. So now every time something makes you laugh until you pee yourself, it's an onion situation.
Well, I'm glad you did not die.
No,
Yeah,
but
that's
now
good.
every
I
time I
mean,
start laughing
I'm
really
ready.
hard, they're like,
but then that's funny.
every time I start laughing really hard, they're like, have you peed lately? And I'm like, you know what?
It doesn't matter. You could be
doesn't.
completely
It doesn't.
empty, and
I could have
somewhere
just
in
walked
your
out of
body
the
there'll
bathroom.
be some.
Literally just walked out of the bathroom. It could be a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just life,
Hashtag,
you know?
Hashtag
Doesn't
aging.
matter.
That's-
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna well, I'm sorry I didn't introduce you, Dawn, but in my brain you are a star. Aren't you an Emmy nominated journalist?
Yes, I am. I also have won 67 awards for storytelling as a journalist.
Wow.
Yes.
See, she literally needs no introduction.
Yeah.
But
that
some of my books have made it to bestseller list, but like that and $5 will get me a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, are those awards keeping you? Did they pay the power bill? No, they don't. Yeah. The electric company still wants you to like give them cash. It's weird. I'm like, do you know I am Emmy nominated? And they like, we don't care. Do you have a check?
You're like, oh, like, good for you. And where's that payment?
That should get you out of everything.
Right.
I'm like,
wouldn't that be nice?
Exactly. Exactly.
That'd be nice.
Like, do you know that I'm Emmy nominated? And they're like, but you didn't win. And I'm like,
for shame.
No. The number of times I've been nominated and never got. I'm freaking Susan Lucci over here. Like,
it's an honor to be nominated.
Susan Lucci failed me because then she won one, and I'm like, damn it. Freaking Susan.
So, did you guys compile your lists?
Yes.
Alrighty.
My chicken scratch.
Your chicken scratch. All right.
Yeah, I wrote it in cursive so the younger generation couldn't decipher it.
So it's secret.
Yeah.
They'd have to decode it.
Yeah. They're like, this is old lady handwriting. And I'm like, I know. You're welcome.
All right. So, what is your top 3 favorite tropes? Which one wants to go first?
I don't think mine are surprising. Found family is a big one for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have 4.
Okay.
I couldn't Fated Mates. Touch and Die. I love that. And why choose any multiple situation is always good.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
I gotta tell you, I love Why Choose. It's not in my top. I did not put it in my top 3, but I do love Why Choose. And my hat is off to the authors who craft those books, because I started to sketch one out. Like, I was gonna write one under my spicy pen name, and I'm like, I do not have spreadsheet space for this. I don't. Hold on.
You should see me as I'm
my
writing
arm
it.
going this way. Yeah. So I'm very
Probably
impressed.
record myself while I'm writing it because I'm like, okay, all right, like,
Wait,
okay.
where'd that leg come
Like,
from? What's that doing in here?
Yeah.
Okay, my top 3. I do love a found family, and I guess I just don't even think of that as a trope because I just feel like all of my books sort of end up in a found family kind of situation. But I absolutely love enemies to lovers. Love it. And they go with these other 2, which is forced proximity and either fake dating or a marriage of convenience. And it's that whole like he's like enemies to the point where he hates her, but then like something happens and then he's like, no, that's mine. I also love mine. Like,
yes.
yeah, I
That
like
feeling.
her. She's mine. Like he will fight. Like he wants to protect his little bird, and he will fight everybody off. And I'm like, I don't hate any of what you just said. If a guy did that to me in real life, though, I'd be like, back off, He-Man. Come on. But in a book, I'm like, tell me more. What's that about?
See, for
So
me,
funny.
like, I took found family, fated mates, and mine out of the equation because I write shifters.
It's kind of given, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, in bikers, you kind of can't write that without those. So, I was like, okay, you can't pick those. That's what I told myself.
You set the rules down for yourself.
Right. I was like, you can't pick those because those are a given. So I was like, what other ones? And I didn't realize it until I was going through my books one time. But I have a thing for best friend's sister or brother.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, Pike's Pixie.
Yeah.
Trips bitch. If you go through them, a lot of them, there is a brother's, best friend's brother sister connection. So apparently I like that one. I do like Who Did This to You. It's one of my I love this one. And it doesn't matter if it's the woman or the man saying it. I love that. The avenging your getting vengeance for the person you care about. That gets me. And I do have a thing for enemies to lovers, but I can't write it very well. I have written it, but I write fated mates. So it's hard to write it.
I think fated mates, enemies to lovers is very potent.
It is.
Do, where they try to fight each other on it.
It is, but it's hard to set it up.
Yeah.
Because
they can to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But
like Kyla's book in my series, Tricks Elite, they were enemies to lovers. But it was so difficult to write because they were mates, and I had to write them fighting it literally the whole book, when everything in me as an author wanted to just be like, oh, give in. Just give in. You know what I mean? Like, so it was hard for me to write it because I wanted them to just give in the whole time. So I like it and I love reading it. But when I'm writing it, I have a hard time with it.
Maybe you need to do one, and I like, I'm also a big fan of rejected mates. One of my favorite rejected mates of all times is the Shadow Beast Shifters by Jamin Eve, and that whole series. Oh my God! Like she is a rejected mate. He's like the god of shifters, and they are enemies to lovers. And I'm like, what is happening right now? Why am I so tingly? I love everything that is happening right here. And but I've seen it where it's been like, where it's like a enemies to lovers before they know they're fated mate, like they've reached it, like they haven't reached that period in their shifterness that kind of switches on when they turn into shifter. I don't know, like usually it's
See,
like
and mine's
shifter
not.
puberty,
And
you know.
that's in your
Yeah.
lore. You have to set that up in your lore.
You have to set that up in your lore. Yeah.
Yeah, so it depends on how they write their universe, if it can work really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the best friend's sister and friend, best friend, sister, and brother, I think that only works with a character that's a certain age. Like it doesn't work when you're 40.
Well, it does.
Like,
it does, depending on what world you're in. Like mine,
yes,
there is
in a shifter world, sure.
Well, in a biker world,
in a biker world, yeah,
there is a certain loyalty, and there's a code. So, in my world, that you don't do that. You don't touch their family, especially the girls, the sisters. Your biker brother's sister, you don't touch her. She's a no-go.
But what if she's mine?
Well, read trips, bitch.
Yeah.
There's a reason that TD is
So
obsessed
yummy.
with that book.
So yummy.
He literally
I love
takes
him.
punches for her.
As he does, as one does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He literally is like, well, she's mine. And there's nothing you can do about it. But he struggles with the fact that her brother is his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And her brother literally has one rule.
Yeah.
Don't touch my sister.
Don't touch my sister.
Mopo. Or die. Touch her and die. And he's like, but she's mine. Touch her and die.
Because that's his sister, he's never allowed himself to look at her that way.
Yeah.
And that's why he doesn't realize she's his mate. Until she kisses him one day. And then suddenly he's looking at her like that and realizes that's my mate.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because she's tired of waiting around. Like,
exactly.
Biological clock is ticking.
On,
Let's
dude.
do something here, my friends.
Because she's known forever. And she's like, okay, listen. We need to do something about this.
As women, too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no.
And then once she does, he can't get her off his mind after that. And
I mean, also accurate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true to life. It really is.
So that's, I apparently have a thing for writing those books, though, because those are my most popular books. Are the best friend's brother or sister. Those are my most popular books.
But that's a good conflict. I think that's a good conflict in a book. And when you look at, it's that comes down to really like, what would you do for love? Like, would you, if you had to give up everything for true love, would you do it? And what is everything to you? Like, what is so important? You have to make a choice, and it's just this internal and external conflict. I mean, it's a very potent foundation for a story. So I'm not surprised I mean,
because they're both faced with that, that's her entire family as well. She grew up with this club as her family. And so did he. His dad used to be the president. Now his brother is. And her dad used to be the vice president. And now her brother's the enforcer. So they're both faced with.
I have read this book.
They're both faced with.
I have read this book. I'm like,
yeah.
That sounds familiar. I read this book.
So they're both.
I have read this book because I'm like, wait a minute.
They're both faced with this existential crisis of, we can be together, but it might be us having to give up this family in order to do it. And is it worth it? And then it's like, no.
How big is his eggplant?
And then it's no. It's not us making that choice. It's them making that choice.
Is he bendy?
Listen, Trip is capable of
Can he pick me up?
Can do
literally
anything. He can do anything. Yes.
Trip is the jokester.
Yes.
Trip is the...
I do remember this now. It's like, I was like, why is this? I know I've read. Like,
You've read it.
I just can't. I can't always remember the titles of the books I've read, and I feel embarrassed because I'm like,
no,
what was that book? You know, like with the shifters and the bikers. What was it, Tara? And she's like, yeah, that's the one I wrote. Axel's Ride. You remember that? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Or I'll say, no, that's not it. But his name was Axel. What was it again? Axel's Ride. Yes. Trip's bitch. Yes. I remember now.
People get so mad about the title of that book, by the way. I'm like, she is a shifter, a wolf shifter, and she's a biker babe. She literally rides bitch on his bike.
You know, my aunt thinks that A Hot Flash of Homicide is a murder how-to book. So
I'm
like, not really.
Not that serious.
Not really.
No.
Do you
not? But
do you realize that in the biker culture they call themselves biker bitches? Like,
yes.
It's really not that serious.
You're writing bitch.
It's not.
She's a female wolf. Like, it's really not that serious. It's not that serious, guys.
Somebody is always going to criticize something. You know.
Yeah, I'm sure
please everybody.
I'm sure all your panthers and shifters and all kinds of stuff raise a lot of red flags for some. Oh, there should be just two people in a relationship. Who are all these other people? Well, one guy's going to go get me a sandwich while the other one's taking care of business.
Right?
So, and then when I'm tired, they can just take care of themselves. I'm just saying.
And I like it. Like, I've had readers comment because it's not like everybody is piled in together every time, and like, you know, they have their separate relationships. You know, it's not all about that. You know, it's just about the found family and being there for each other, and you know, yeah. So yeah, I've gotten comments, but more good than bad. So I'm good.
I like those. I like the ones where the two guys, like, they're part of the group, and then one of them doesn't. He's like, that's not who I am, but I kind of am in love with you, but I don't want to. And then he fights it, and they fight each other, and it's like, I'm like, I don't know what's happening here, but I'm tingly all over. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. Just say yes. Say yes, man. Do it. I'm here for it. Hormones. What can I say? And use that for your book trailers. Like, I'm here for it. Let's do it.
I'll clip it out and
Can I get a clip of that?
Yes.
Don't be here all week. Try the veal.
Put that in my
transitions. Because I don't just write that way. That's how I talk in real life too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just gonna throw random stuff out and see what happens. I don't get invited back some places, but I'm okay with that. It's fine.
Me too. It's okay. So do you have 3 tropes that you absolutely dislike?
Yes, and I'll throw myself on the grenade on this one because there's some people are gonna fight me on this, and it's a personal preference, and I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yum. But the first one for me is virgins of any kind. Like, I'm just like, no, I'm just no. However, there is one book that is the exception to that, and that is the Blindsided by Amy Dawes. and the virgin in question is 30, and it's like a friends to lovers thing, and he's going to teach her how to have sexy time, and like it's the funniest. It has one of the funniest scenes in it. I thought I was going to pee myself multiple times. It's so good. But other than that, like, no virgin. And then I'm going to say it. Good girl and daddy's girl, or daddy, little girl, baby girl. Like, all of those to me, that is, again, not my jam. I'm not going to yuck anybody's yum. I get why that's the whole thing. But I'm just like, the first time she calls him daddy, I'm like, nope. And I think this is all because I've known, I have a friend who refers to her husband that way, and and it's not even like they have a lifestyle. It's just, that's how she, and I'm just, nope. So I don't want to, don't come for me in the comments. Don't fight me on it. Like, you keep reading your thing, like, good for you. And by the way, I may throw in a good girl in one of my books.
I don't have anything against Good Girl. Good Girl by itself. I think Good Girl by itself is separate from the daddy thing. Good Girl by itself can be completely separate.
Yeah, it can
I have a thing. I agree with you on the daddy thing. Baby girl by itself, I can't do, because I literally call my daughter baby girl.
But that's your daughter.
I've called her baby girl her entire life. So the daddy baby girl thing, I can't.
Yeah, because now you're thinking about your daughter calling some guy daddy.
And well, in daddy by itself, I agree with you with the daddy thing by itself. I don't judge other people for liking it. I just personally can't.
Me either. It's just not for. There's so many.
And I know TD is sitting here going,
she is like, let me tell you something, girlfriend. I have 14 daddy books on my TBR right now.
She writes them.
More for you.
But I can, when I'm reading, I can ignore the daddy part, but the baby girl, I have to change the baby girl in my head. And
even like Criminal Minds, when what's his name calls the blonde hacker gal, when he calls her baby girl, like, all right,
yeah,
like,
see, that
gets a little bit of pass for me. But even that, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, what do you do? Penelope, you're not going to ask Penelope out. You're doing this to get something out of her, and it pisses me off, and so it ruins it. And so maybe that's why it ruined it for me. I don't know. But I would really like to see a grown man come up and call me baby girl right now. Actually, people in the South, guys in the South call me baby girl all the time, and I'm like,
see, I don't like it.
I am not your baby, and I'm not your girl, so you better back the hell off. Like, calm down. Simmer back over, go over there. I don't know you, stranger danger, and not in a good sexy kind. Get out. Yeah. You notice I didn't say kidnapping. Like, sure, let's have a kidnapping. Let's have a mafia in our books. Let's have shifters and man on man and female on whatever. Like, even inanimate. I'm not really an inanimate object person either, but those are, I just don't read them. So, TD. Save me from this. Save me from this conversation.
Hey, everybody likes different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's good, I don't want to force people to read what they don't want to read. Mm-hmm. And yes, I have daddies and sirs during sexy time.
Sir's not a problem for me.
Yeah, I don't mind sir.
Daddy.
Yeah. Everybody has things, and it's fine. I don't care. Like, read what you want to read.
Yep.
And I like writing it only if the characters call for it. like the last book, I'm like, no, it's gonna be straight, none of those, and then a sir popped out, and I'm like, all right, fine, So it's whatever my characters call for, and I don't think it's excessive or anything like that. And my female characters are pretty badass, so doesn't affect that. I am not big on the miscommunication trope. Like, I mean, some is good for the but like if it's one after the other after like the whole book, I'm like, just sit down and talk. Like, say it, just say it. So, yeah, I can't. That's too much for me personally. And a lot of the bully stuff that's extreme. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, we have a Kyla. Hold on.
I came screaming in with my hair on fire.
Hold on. Let me get you in here.
Okay.
Let me see. He's not up here, so I'm going to see if I can do it myself. Nope. I got to get the sun up here.
Hey, Kyla.